Hello, how's it going everyone? It's Frankie here and I'm back with another movie review. And this is another movie that I had in mind to watch. And let me tell you, oh my god, it's another great action movie yet again. I mean, what's happening? Another good movie in a row? Now, how much is that in the one? I think maybe 3, possibly 4. I've got to check that. But what's happening? We're watching these good movies all of a sudden. I don't know. I mean, I am, but you're not. But you know, you're watching this video with me talking about, you know what I mean anyway. And this movie here was just brilliant. It's called Wire Room. And for those of you who don't know what Wire Room is, it's like a facility, like a government facility or something like that, where they store the information like calls, funds, money, or like clients as well. You know, it's basically like a police thing, you know, in that sense. So yeah, it's it's one of those times you could search up on Google just to get a better explanation of it. And yeah, so let's get into it. It starts off with the characters going into fights, because it's like it starts with a juxtaposition basically, where they show it towards the end of the movie where there's action going on and stuff like that. But I'm not going to get into that yet. I'm going to get into the movie, you know, get into the proper stuff of it. And it starts off by this guy called Justin Rosa. He's new to this Wire Room job. He's a new recruit. Excuse me. He's a new recruit. And he goes in and then he talks to Mike and he talks to Lobby, the guards that are there, and he meets Shane, played by Bruce Willis. Because when I saw him, I was like, hold on a minute, this dude looks kind of like Bruce Willis. But every time I saw this dude, he looks different. Bruce Willis really has changed his appearance for some reason. Maybe it's the age thing. He looks mega different. And he talks to this woman at the computer at the desk, where the cameras, as she watches all the cameras and stuff like that, called Nora. And they, they discuss about the rooms, and he talks about, he goes through the rules. And Shane, keep on Sean. And then Shane and Noah goes on about this guy called Eddie Flynn, who's the head of a cartel, something like that. Whatever he is, right? And what's this dude's name? But Justin is tasked with protecting Eddie Flynn, because Eddie Flynn has gave out a list of supposed corrupt cops and stuff like that. So yeah, so getting into it, I don't want to bore you with that scene. And he happily looks through the cameras and he's by himself. Bear that in mind, he can't go for a bathroom break. That's why there should be 2 people there, because how are you meant to go to the toilet? You meant to make it in your trousers? Might as well wear a nappy. So he's there and Mike comes in, and I swear this guy was suspicious. As soon as I saw this Mike dude, I was like, why is he suspicious for? What's going on with him? Why is he looking all smiley and want to know information about Justin for some reason? I have no idea. But he asks him to go for bathroom break first. Watch the movie first and then come watch my video, because I'm going to give a lot away. Goes to the toilet real quick, and then you see these guys that look like they're dressed up in SWAT uniforms. At first, that's what I thought. But they were actually Gamma was trying to kill him or whatever it was. Anyway, kill Eddie. And they're raiding his home and stuff like that. Comes back, and he's already broken. That's his job potentially over for me. He's only broken that wall right there, which he shouldn't have broken. And then he panics, and then he does something very, very stupid. He calls him up. He calls Eddie up on his phone. What you're not meant to be doing that. I understand he's trying to protect him. You can't be doing that. Calls him up. Says, oh, there's an officer there. He helps him basically take out all this, not officers. Tells him to take out all these corrupt SWAT officials. I don't know what you call them, but he tells him to take them out, and then so tells him, look, you could need help. I mean, doesn't really say much, and then Eddie starts blackmailing him, saying, you could lose your job for this, your career, so be careful, because they're going to come after you next, since we know everything. And then you see Eddie talk to someone called Junior, which is the main person that they don't know who it is, who's behind it, because on the board where they have the evidence of all the corrupt officers or whatever it is, Junior's name pops up there. Junior, you can't see, you don't know what the person looks like. And so Justin starts to go deeper into it, and he tries to call Shane, and he calls Noah. Noah says she'll go in her way. Shane is an a-hole, basically. He doesn't really care, to be fair. I mean, as soon as Shane called him, and Shane was acting all panicky. No, Justin was acting all panicky. Shane just went straight to him. Don't know why that didn't happen. So yeah, as he just delves into it, he calls up the sheriff's department. The sheriff, something like that anyway. And he speaks to someone called Robert. So I don't know what his first name is, Sheriff Roberts or something like that. And then he begins to like say, look, so something coming up here, pop up. Sorry about that. Yeah, so he says to Shane, he basically says to Roberts, we got something going on here. There's a witness you're trying to protect it. Can you stop? Didn't say those words, but he's like, there's been an attack going on this house. Please investigate. And then, he hangs up, and then calls Shane, and then Shane just says to the false alarm, stop. And yeah, he tries to call up Roberts, and then Roberts doesn't reply. Roberts just said, okay, we know who you're protecting. We know what's going on. And if we can't do anything at the moment, just let it continue. And then you see the sheriffs in the car come out, and they just said they was almost friends with these people for some reason, that they didn't do anything. You would expect the sheriffs to be a bit more serious and concerned with what was going on at the house. 1 second, let me drink my tea right here. Don't usually do that on my videos, but doesn't matter, it needs to be drunk anyway. And yeah, so those don't be deep into it. And as he talks to Eddie again over the phone, Eddie says, oh, you're speaking to Roberts? Roberts, you say? I mean, Roberts is one of the corrupt cops. And then he was like, oh, right. Justin starts panicking. It goes crazy. There's so much dialogue and so much good action to talk about. I'm not going to go through every action scene, to be fair. I'll just sum up briefly. And then he tells Eddie, look, get in this the garage, take out these 3 corrupt officers right here. I almost call corrupt officers. And then he tells them to go upstairs. Tells them to take upstairs from the basement. And he tells them to take people out of the basement, or 2-3 people. They tell them to take and he takes 2-3 people out in like the living room. Then he goes upstairs, takes them out. It's just so much going on. It's hard for me to explain these good movie scenes right here, because a lot goes on. And then he starts to then Justin starts to talk to Roberts and saying, I know what you're about, I know everything. And Roberts said, oh, you know everything. Soon it'll be you that's coming up next. And then you begin to find out, as it goes deep into the story, that Mike is also one of Robert's corrupt officers. Wow, how deep does this go? Eddie reveals all this stuff. And then a list was mentioned about these corrupt officers. When that list was talked about, Eddie comes up and says, oh, I just made it all up. For me, that was the part of the movie which kind of like confused me a bit, because if he made up that list, why are there still corrupt officers? Surely it wouldn't have been made up, no? So that's what I didn't get in the movie. That's the only part that confused me. Everything else is just brilliant. And then, he then finds about Mike. Mike comes in, because Mike was going to kill him anyway, because Mike did take out the other security guard on the ground floor, the entrance, because the other security guard was a part of it. I just knew that I had suspicions about this dude. There was something really weird about him. I just knew he was part of something corrupt somewhere. It's just, this is why you got to be careful you tell stuff to people, because it's just the way they behave when they try and get information out of you. You've got to be quite careful there. But don't want to go off topic. And then, when they find out, and then Eddie, he tries to help Eddie still. Eddie grabs a grenade and he says, "Look, I need to go. I'm gonna remain here. I'm gonna die here." That's how he said it anyway. Not in those exact words, but I think that's how he meant it. You see an explosion, you think Eddie's gone. Shane then returns back, and then you would think Shane's in on it, but he's not in on it. He's just like a guy that is the boss that owns it. I don't know. He's a main man that's there anyway. Comes back and says, "What else have you done? What's going on?" And Justice says, "We got stuck up on weapons. Don't explain this too much right now." And then these corrupt officers come in. I think I'm not going to call it corrupt SWAT. I think they're corrupt SWAT officers or something like that. They look like they're in SWAT uniform anyway. And then the big shootout happens inside the wire room. It's this insanity that goes on, boom, boom, boom. Literally shooting everywhere. Justin just takes them all out quickly. There's so much headshots that goes on, man. I just lost count of it. It was like the movie should have been called Headshots. It was so many headshots that was happening. It was just like it's like there's no other part of the body they can shoot him at. Obviously, some other parts of the body was shot at too. And then one of the last remaining, crop officers that was still standing before, one of those two left anyway at the last one. One of them throws a grenade, and then boom, you see that Justin just trying to get up. He grabs his pistol just about, shoots both of them last ones left. And then you would expect the last one to be Roberts that comes in. I think Sheriff Roberts or something. I don't know what. I think it's Sergeant Sheriff. I've got to double check that. But yeah, he comes in, he sees him and he was like, oh, well, Roberts doesn't just come in. He remains outside the door. He then, holds Noah hostage and you got to open the door, put down your gun, and then we can sort this out. And then he wants to remove the evidence. And then as he's trying to do it, Noah runs off, and then as the sheriff is about to take her out, Justin comes in, and then starts they start having a bit of a beat up, and then he eventually does kill him. I don't know, she grabs a gun and shoots him anyway, as you could see. And yeah, so it's madness, man. It's just totally madness. And then that's when the information is getting known to. So yeah, I'm surprised they put a piece together before. And then a little bit of a funny dialogue right there is just like saying, oh, I'm not cut out for Wire Room, I'm not cut, like Justin says, how did he word it? Yeah, he said, oh, I'm not cut out Wire Room anyway, it's too much action for me. Even though at the start of the movie he said he wants a lot more action. Yeah, I guess he wouldn't want to be doing that action anytime soon, would he? A bit too much for him. And yeah, so, yeah, they have sort of a little fun conversation at the end when she's about to leave. I don't know why they were going to leave, they should have stayed, to be fair. And then you hear a call from Eddie. This is when Justin said that, oh, he's dead, unfortunately, the target's dead. Shane was disappointed, not much else they can do. And Eddie says, oh, I hope you kept your promise to me. I'll be seeing you, I'll be enjoying the future. I don't know what he said, but he said goodbye or something. He said something along those lines anyway. I think the promise was to help him keep him alive, which Justin did at least. I mean, I know he broke the rule, but you got to do what you got to do if it means taking a risk. And Justin took the right risk. He did protect the target, so he did it in the end. So it's like the target just died. Like there was one scene where I was like, oh, target's gone. That can't be right. Where he was shot and gunned down. But then as Justin came onto the screen, he saw him. He saw the target and he was like, wait a minute. What's happening here? Someone just, the court officer has a gun ready to shoot the other officers right there. Something in that scene anyway. I didn't explain that well, but you know what I mean when you watch it. And that was quite clever right there. But yeah, I don't know how Eddie even knew all this. I know he's part of some sort of cartel or something like that. But probably they did teach him how to shoot anyway and be good, good with his weapons. And yeah, wow. Too much goes on in this movie, I'm telling you. But yeah, a little bit at the end there, I like how Eddie just went on the phone there. So he did actually do his job well. But I don't think he should be going back to that sort of job. He's not very reliable. So yeah. But bear in mind, when I read about this movie, it was up my street. 100% up my street. So yeah, rating for this, flawless 10 out of 10. You could argue it could have been a 9 because the storyline wasn't clear, but I can't find any faults. That's just a minor fault. I mean, I can't think of any negatives in this movie. I love the acting. The acting, I've got to say, was brilliant. From start to finish, absolutely sensational. Although those 2 female cuts, I could have been a bit better with the acting. But other than that, they were just short in the script anyway. So, yeah, so that's good for them. I mean, still, everyone acted well. They played their part, to be fair. Yeah, so 10 out of 10, great acting, good action scenes, great characters, great storyline, great plot. Everything was just sensational. Yeah, they could have been like the odd scene where the actor could have been better. There could be the odd scene where the storyline could be better. But I can't find any negatives that would bring the rating down. It's a flawless, perfect movie. So yeah, 10 out of 10 it is. If you enjoyed the video, please give a like, comment, share everyone know, subscribe and hit the notification below as I see you in my next video.